A lot of conspiracy theories out there.
That's why they're theories.
What do you think about Doug giving you guys kind of a lighter work day today? Are you personally happy for it? Are there any aches and pains? We saw you take a shot to the ribs. Are you happy you didn't have to maybe go full bore in pads? Do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's coach's call, and ultimately, when injuries happen and things kind of happen like that, kind of puts everybody in a tough situation. So just due to the number of bodies and guys being healthy, it's the way it had to go today. And I thought we got really good work out there still with a fast-paced walkthrough to see the looks and go over a lot of things. And so still feel good about where we're at on Wednesday.
Where do you like to see it continue? You think it could be more productive doing it this way on a regular week?
It's case by case, and I trust coach with that. And I know a lot of guys, even though today was a walkthrough, still getting, some conditioning in and still getting their workout in. So, at this point, everyone's kind of individualized in that case due to some of the injuries and stuff like that.
Can you still get additional work in with like JJ, someone obviously you haven't been throwing a lot to?
Yep.
Over the last several months.
Yeah.
Have you done it?
Yeah, we did today. We got some routes on air and stuff in today, and so we were able to get some full speed reps and get the timing down and everything. So I feel good. Like I said, for being a Wednesday, I feel good where we're at.
How did your body respond after a rough game?
Feels good. Obviously a little sore and everything, which that's football. But nothing concerning. And being that it's Wednesday, I feel pretty good already.
What's the key for you?
Going back to Jeff's question about getting your timing right with JJ and Mack, what are you doing off the field as well, that communication to make sure that you'll have it on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it's what you just said. That communication, talking through, certain plays, certain looks, certain coverages, what we're seeing. Same thing really I always do with all the guys. Obviously this week they're just thrust into that role some. And so just talking through a lot of things, and we've been talking through things all the way since OTAs, and I've had a lot of experience with Mack over the years and everything as well. So I feel really confident in those guys and the chemistry that we have.
Obviously, though, JJ's not going to be Deshaun, and Mack's not going to be Alshon. So what's the key to making sure this offense doesn't miss a beat if these guys can't go?
Yeah, I mean, we do things that they do well, and we find what they do well and cater to that and put them in the best position to succeed. And they're both great players in their own right. And obviously, Deshaun's a different guy, and Alshon's. We're not going to ask them to be those guys. They're going to be themselves. And so we have a lot of confidence in what they do well and what they bring to this team. And I think having a full week to prepare with those guys to go will really help us this week.
When you went back and looked at some of the films, some of the throws that you missed in the first half, were some of them due to, in your mind, just not having that timing down with a couple of those guys?
There's things here and there, and not to get into it, but this throws I want to have back ultimately, and things that we can clean up as an offense going forward this week.
Mike Wallace went down last year. It seemed the shape of the offense changed. If Deshaun's not out there, how do you compensate for not having that vertical element?
That's a good question, and at the end of the day, kind of what I just said. We're not going to ask Mack to go be Deshaun, and we're not going to ask JJ to go be Alshon. They're going to be themselves, and I think they're both explosive and dynamic in their own right. And so, again, we're gonna scheme things up well and put guys in the best position to succeed. And I know coaches will do that, and I know we'll execute it well.
Number of games in a short amount of time, never easy when healthy, but being down a couple of guys as you are, how tough will this challenge be for this team, not only for Detroit, but preparing for Green Bay after that?
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty crazy to think we got 2 games in, I think, 8 days now. And so, but we're not looking forward to Green Bay. We're focused on Detroit, and, it's always a struggle and a challenging thing on a Thursday night game to get everyone's body and mind ready to go. So we'll cross that bridge Sunday afternoon after the game.
Carson, how frustrating is the inconsistencies that the offense and yourself have endured these first couple games?
It's always frustrating. Being inconsistent is always tough, and it's something that you always want to clean up. And I think we will. I'm confident going forward that we're going to get a lot of things corrected, and we're going to come out executing at a much better pace early in the game.
This is kind of an anomaly, though, this week. You have 3 of your top guys uncertain for Sunday. And don't know how do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, I think, first of all, it's a little easier preparing for it than the way it happened in the game. That's always tough when you I've never quite seen anything quite like that where, 3 of your top 5 weapons go down early in the game like that. So this week, knowing that where we might be come Sunday, we can prepare and have things planned and ready to go. And, again, I feel confident in the guys that we will put out there, and they're going to make a lot of plays.
Carson, Nelson had made a lot of big plays in that game, had the big drop. How how have you seen him and his consistency, and is he handling it well?
Yeah, Nelly's great. Nelly's great. First of all, he's the ultimate team guy. He'll do anything in the run game, anything you ask for him to block, to run deep balls, to go underneath. He'll do whatever's asked of him, and that's what he did. And in that last game, I mean, obviously people look at the drop, but the guy made a lot of plays, and there's a lot of things in the huddle. I mean, he's helping guys get lined up in the right spot and helping choreograph this offense. And hats off to him. And I think he played almost the whole game minus a play or two. And so he played a heck of a game. And I know that there's the one play that he'd want to have back, but I'm not worried about him at all. He's quite the competitor, and he'll be just fine.
Carson, Sunday night, you came off the field after that Deion Jones hit. You kind of touched your rib area, and suddenly Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels were talking about a rib injury, and this has kind of gone on. Is this kind of what this year is going to be like, you think, given what's happened in the past, and how do you handle it?
Yeah, listen, I don't really worry what people think or say. I mean, you get hit in the ribs, and I was just trying to catch my breath, and that is what it is. And so people can speculate, think, do what they want. That's their job. But I feel good, and that was just a hit that I took in the game.
You guys have been very successful on third down so far this year. Going into the season and training camp, you guys talked about that as a focus. What have you seen as far as game planning and plays that are called and what you're doing on third down?
Yeah, it comes down to guys just making plays. We're getting a lot of different looks, man coverage, and at the end of the day, it comes down to guys making plays and coaches putting us in the best spot to succeed. And obviously, there's still a handful we'd want to have back. We want to stay on the field all the time, but I think that's just something that it comes down to guys executing, making plays, and playing on time. And we've been able to do that a handful of times. There's just always a handful in each game that I want to have back.
What sticks out about Detroit's defense?
What's that?
What sticks out about Detroit's defense?
They do quite a bit. They mix it up. A lot of different man looks and do some different things just to kind of confuse you or get your back in protections and do a lot of different things just to kind of play with your eyes as a quarterback. So I've just got to be aware of the different looks that they present and not stress out about it or overthink it and just kind of play progression football. And I think the game plan's looking good to go out and execute against all their different looks.
When you face or when you have guys like Deshaun and Alshon at your disposal, anything you get from a guy like, let's say, JJ or Miles, rookies, it's kind of like a bonus, right? But in this game, you really need them. Do you say anything to those guys to calm them down and keep them where you need them to be on Sunday?
I've been talking to those guys ever since I got here, reminding them like they're here for a reason. This is obviously going into each game week, maybe JJ's, behind Alshon and those guys. But at any point, given, as in last Sunday, they're ready to go and it's their number. And so just always reminding those guys that they're here for a reason, that this isn't any bigger than it needs to be. It's still just football to go make plays. And I'm extremely confident in those guys to keep getting better and keep making plays on Sunday.
As a follow-up to that, Carson, you said a few minutes ago you can't expect them to be Alshon and Deshaun. They need to be themselves. What do they do well in particular?
Yeah, I think they both do quite a bit well. JJ with the, he's got a really good catch radius and able to create some separation using his body and doing some things well. And Mack kind of similar. Mack's similar, and you go back to a couple years and he makes some big plays down the field and things. Kind of people forget that he's still a deep threat in that regard. And so I'm really confident in both those guys to make some plays this Sunday and get them out there. And now it's not just that backup role filling a void here or there. They're going to get their chance.
Were there any plays when you watched the film of Sunday night that you thought that, in retrospect, probably shouldn't have tried to do it in terms of taking hits?
Not really. No. I'm kind of put that behind me. Obviously, you always want to come out of the game not taking hits and not forcing turnovers and those things. So the turnovers obviously jump out as got to protect the football and be better with that. But we're turning the page and we're on to Detroit.
I know you're wearing Landon's T-shirt. I know he lost his fight on Tuesday.
Yeah.
How does real life stuff like that put everything you're going through in perspective? And is there anything you want to say to his family?
Yeah, it's tough. I think for those that don't know, Landon was he actually threw out the first pitch at the charity softball game. He lost his life to cancer yesterday. Trying not to get emotional, but a kid like that was able to go through our AO1 Foundation's programs, and we got to know him really well and his family, and to see his fight and his faith through his faith in Jesus really inspired me. And just seeing how he fought over and over throughout that battle, it's tough for me to see that, and my prayers have been with his family, and I know Landon's up there celebrating with Jesus, so that's something we can always celebrate. But it is tough to see things like that for sure. Thank you guys.